Welcome to the Dink and Dish podcast. My name is Barbara Brodowski, and I'm here with fitness legend and icon Tammy Lee Webb. And we are two fitness experts and pickleball enthusiasts. And we love pickleball, and we're still
Yes, we
learning the
love it.
game. So, welcome to the show. And if you take away one thing and one thing only, it's that dinking is
Dinking is
not
not
a
a
warm up.
warm
I'm
up.
going to put it on a bumper sticker next. Like it's going to be my latest
Yeah,
hashtag. How are you
yeah.
doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I like your earbuds versus these.
I know I
I
got
know.
tired of because they kept they were just bugging me. So
I
anyway, I
know.
thought, why don't I just go with some earbuds instead?
Yeah,
So,
that works. I might have to change to that too. So how was your
yeah.
pickleball this week?
Well, I was a little disappointed because I didn't get to play
Oh,
on Wednesday, but I did get to play last Sunday and Monday
nice.
because I had family in town. But I'm playing again tonight. It was good. We always have fun. It's just it's such a social event,
Yep.
and I always try and when I go out to play besides warming up. Typically, by the time I get there, I'm already warmed up, except for on Sunday mornings. So it was so cool. This past Sunday morning, I was already there because I was shooting some stuff, and I had my band out. I had my tubing out. I was doing my warm up, and as the girls come in, because they all have bands, I have given them booty bands.
Nice.
They pull it out. They started the warm up. I was so proud of them.
There we
So we
go.
all did the warm up beforehand. Yeah, it was good. But typically, I'm already warmed up because I've done some clients and have done many things before I get on the court. But still, there's some things that I
Mhm.
always like to do
Mhm.
before I get out there.
Yeah.
Thank God we had no injuries. Everybody is doing really well. There's one other girl, Filter Girl. I'll call her Filter D. Filter D. She has some knee issues like I do too, and I work a lot on trying to strengthen my knees. And one of
Mhm.
the muscle groups that's real important when strengthening the knees is the tibia.
Mhm.
So I'm always walking up backwards up
Mhm.
my street. I am doing more like I'll slip it in a kettlebell
Mhm.
and do some
Oh, okay,
dorsiflexion
yeah.
and just little things like that. Another one I like to do is I'll put a stability ball uh, by the bench, and then I'll just kick it as fast as I can with my
Okay.
heels, even though that's more hamstrings. But you got to think about it. If your knee's here, you've got to work the lower
Oh, yeah.
tendons, you got to work the upper, the laterals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I pay a lot of attention to that. So,
Oh, good for you.
Filter D and I are working on our knee exercises.
Nice. I have a lot of girlfriends that are out with injuries right now. Is in my I've been gone from Texas pickleball play for like 3 weeks, so I'm in the thread though, and so I start again tomorrow with our it's called TCU Tuesday. We play at Texas Christian University, and we
Uh-huh.
have like 3 people out with injuries, and it's your basic injury: back, knee, tennis elbow. I was text my girlfriend Kimi. I said, "Listen, we need to keep it together. When you get past 50, your
Yeah.
fight is keeping it together. Like, I want to
Yeah.
play pickleball and not get hurt. And you have these little things. And my warm ups this week have not been the best. I do some warm up, of course, but right now I am just working on hip openers. Like, if I can just squat all the way
Mm,
down and just hold that squat, man, because my hips are so tight from sitting so much. So,
yeah.
after my husband's hip surgery, I had a lot of downtime just, playing Nurse Ratchet and sitting with him. And it's just sitting way more than I'm used to. So I feel like my hips are really
Yeah.
tight. So, but I just told my friend, I'm like, we need to keep it together. Like, we have so many, they're like on the verge of, they're either coming back or they're going out. It's like,
Yeah.
we got to keep it together. Like,
Yeah.
everybody. And I went today and played for the first time with the Parker County Pickleball Association. It was so much fun. I played for the first time indoors. I played
Oh.
once indoor at Chicken and Pickle, but this was like indoor on a basketball court. It's in a church rec center. It was so much fun. Three
Oh,
courts,
okay.
and they were all great players. It was so fun meeting new people and
Mhm.
playing with that indoor ball. So it didn't have as much pop or bounce. So it was a learning curve
So
for
did it
me.
have bigger holes?
Had bigger holes, yeah.
Bigger
And it was
holes.
pink, and
Okay.
I'm used to
Yeah.
green. So it was a lot of different things for me today, but it was so
Yeah.
nice just to play with different people. They were super nice.
Yeah.
Lucky for me, I'm not a cusser. so I'd have to watch my mouth at church.
Ooh. Well, Filton D could not play there.
It was just fun, people. And I played with this guy. His name was Pete. And I don't know how old he was. I'm going to guess he's probably 75. And I'll be darned if that guy, I was so excited for him. I was more excited for him and how well he was playing. I mean, I had actually missed a shot. I'm like, Pete, that was so good. Oh my gosh. He was just, I love the
Giggling.
game so much. And I spent so much time
Yeah.
laughing because I'm just shocked at it doesn't matter what you look like, your fitness level,
Yeah.
how well you move. If you have that eye-hand coordination, you keep that ball low, like you're going to be a great pickleball player. So I had a great
Yeah.
time. So this is my pickleball attire still right now. I just got off the court, so it was fun for me.
Good.
Yeah, and you know, knock on wood, like I'm not injured. Like I have things that bother me, but I'm like really working on keeping it together. Because it is hard
Well, that's
when you
what
want
we're
to
trying
keep
to
your
do.
your fitness level up, and keeping our fitness level up now, it's for, I would say, longevity and autonomy. The two things I want to do. I
Mhm.
want to live a long life and be autonomous, and the third is to play pickleball. Like,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah,
it's
I can't go anywhere unless there's a pickleball court. Like my boyfriend says, "Well, maybe we should move." And I'm like, "Well, how many courts do they have? Do they have a pickleball? I'm not moving without my pickleball." And it would be really hard to leave my girls
yep,
because I enjoy playing with them so much. Yeah.
that's awesome.
Okay.
Well, this week we are talking about, and I love this so much. This was your recommendation. We're going to talk about the benefits of pickleball and your cardiovascular system and
Yeah.
cardio and pickleball. So, I mean, the benefits are amazing, but take it away, Tammy Lee.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I do when I go out, it's not so much about how many steps I'm doing, but I will always turn on my Apple Watch to
Hmm.
pickleball time. And people always do that. Is want to get my
I see it all the
pickleball
time.
credits, right?
Yep, I see
But
it
for
all. I
me,
don't have an Apple Watch, but I know what they're doing.
yeah. But for me, what I'm doing is I'm watching my heart rate
Mm.
because I want to keep it above 100, and we
Hmm.
typically play for 2 hours,
Yep.
and if I can keep my heart rate above 100, then I know I'm getting a great cardio workout
Hmm.
for that amount of time. Now,
Hmm.
it will fluctuate. The harder the game is, or the people that I'm playing, it's going to go up. And I was really excited because yesterday morning we were playing, and I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, it was 144. I'm working hard, and I like it up there because bless
That's the
you.
first time I've ever sneezed on my podcast. I'm allergic to Texas.
Oh, God bless you. So I always watch that for my cardio. I want to keep moving. I want to
Hmm.
keep my heart rate up. But so there are three really important things when it comes to pickleball. We know is the eye hand coordination, the footwork, and the agility, right?
Hmm.
and and then we break it down. We've broken it down with the ankle, the feet, the knees, the hips, and the
Hmm.
spine. And so it's also the heart. You've got to have some endurance in order to do that. So somebody said, well, can anybody play pickleball? If you're really out of shape, you probably want to do a few things before going out there.
Hmm.
But just starting a learning type of situation, you can certainly learn enough to build, play with other people to build that up. But with the cardio, it is a low impact workout.
Hmm.
Sometimes it can be high.
Unless you're me and have happy feet.
Which is Miss Happy Feet. And there's some people that don't move as much,
Hmm.
and then there's Happy Feet. And I do like to move because I want to keep my heart rate up. But some simple things that you can do with cardio and building your cardio up is walking,
Hmm.
hiking, cycling, anything that gets you out there for 30 minutes, maybe 60 at the most.
Hmm.
But one of the things that I love type of training is Tabata,
Hmm.
hit, because they're kind of like interval. So you
Hmm.
can work really hard and then you get a little bit of break. You can work really hard and get a little bit of a break. And I think that's always good for beginners
Yeah.
because they go, okay, I can do this for 20 seconds. So even if it's just modified jumping jacks. So instead of jumping, you're just stepping from side to side,
Hmm.
but you're getting your heart rate up. You're going to do that for 20 seconds and then you get a 10-second rest. So
Hmm.
doing things like that is going to build up your cardio to get you out on the court and feel like you're not hunched over,
Right.
hyperventilating for breath. If you cannot tell me your bank account number while we're playing, then you are working too hard.
Well, it's
Okay?
funny because when I play, I do notice that you do have an advantage if you can keep your stamina up. And and
Yes.
and at the higher when you play at a higher level and you're moving around more, I do sometimes think, okay, they're probably a better pickleball player than me, but I may be able to outwork them. That's always like
Yes.
it's a prayer sometimes, like, okay, they're I'm a 3.4 and they're a 3.6, so they're better than me, but I might be able to
Yeah.
keep my stamina up.
So a good thing to think about it is, have you ever, and I ran into this just the other day or on Sunday. So when somebody is doing the overheads and they're
Hmm.
going from side to side and you're running trying to get, that
Yeah.
is endurance. That's where you
Yes.
need that anaerobic, cardiovascular to go, okay, they're over there, I can get that. Oh, now it's over there, I got to run back over there because my partner is somewhere else. But that is really challenging. That's what gets
Yeah.
your heart
Yeah.
rate up. So yeah, there's so many different things. I was looking at trying to find some studies, and I only found one study that was related to pickleball, and this was of middle-aged people. So
Hmm.
are we middle? Okay, well,
Whatever.
I'm probably not middle, but whatever.
I don't think
um
I'm middle either, unless I
the
live to be 110.
Right, what's middle if you don't know
Right?
when the end is?
Right.
So the average heart rate was 108.
Okay.
So when I think about, you should do this since you're happy feet. I would love to see what
Yeah.
your working heart rate is on the courts. So for me, 108 is, I'm not working very hard on the court.
Uh-huh.
I would say I probably average 124 to
Okay.
34. That's
My
usually
Aura
what I like to
ring
go
keeps
for.
track of it. So I have the Aura ring,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's not as I
Mm.
don't think it gives you all the credit for all the things you do as
They're
succinctly as
cheating you?
I think they are. I have a feeling anyway, but I can tell when my heart rate, like I can read on like the work. It'll tell me how high my heart rate got, so I can
Yeah.
check that out, and I can tell when I'm
Yeah.
winded too. And it's funny because when I'm Miss Happy Feet, and I say that I'm Happy Feet, and anybody that plays with me will agree. For every 3 steps you take, I take 9, and it's kind of like I call it an energy leak.
Yeah.
It's like I have so much energy and I have ADHD. So where do I put that energy? It has to go somewhere, and it goes to my feet. So I have happy feet. So I have to spend a lot of time sometimes catching my breath. So a good hack, ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen, is like when I'm running around the court and doing more than I need to, I will have to tie my shoe, take a drink of water. I will find a way to stall because I got to
Yeah.
catch my breath. I call it take an emotional
Yeah.
lap. I need to take an emotional
Yeah.
lap, catch my breath, because
Yeah.
it is physically challenging, um, moving
Yeah.
from side to side and running back and forth.
It is, which is that whole footwork too. I mean,
Yes.
moving side to side, like I always tell the girls if they're looking toward me in the warm up, I said, do some grapevines. They all know grapevine from our
Yeah.
aerobic dance days. Do some grapevines back and forth, and it gets your feet moving and having some balance. I'm
Mhm.
all about balance. But the average from that study, they said the total energy output was like 350 calories. And I'm thinking at 108 beats per minute. That doesn't calculate. But again, not all these things are accurate
Yeah.
enough because sometimes I'll go back and I'll look just for giggles of, okay, so if I played for 2 hours and it will say, oh, your output was 600. I'm like, I don't know, but what was my average heart rate? So,
Yeah.
because the higher your average heart rate, then it is going to have a higher output.
Mhm.
So those are kind of good things to know. But um, on an average, because I went to look all this stuff up, and I'm thinking, okay, what would somebody else say? How many days a week should you be working out, or
Mhm.
how many a day? Excuse me, how many days a week should you be playing pickleball?
Mm. My dad would tell you 6 of 7.
I
Um,
love your dad.
I know. I'm 3 or 4. 3 or 4 times, 3,
Yeah.
4 max usually.
Yeah. I used to do 4, but because of my knees, I cut it back to 3. Um, so it really depends on your body, but it is 3 to 4
Yeah,
because your
because
body
overuse
needs
injuries.
you need those rest days. So if you
Yeah.
went out and you played for 2 to 3 hours, that's really hard on your body. For instance, one of our girls, I'll call Bulldog, we call her Roe, but Bulldog, she went out, she was bragging out, she was in Vegas and she played for 4 hours. I think it was
Oh,
4 hours.
wow.
And of course, then she played with us the next day and she was a mess. I'm like, your
Oh,
body is a mess. It needs a day of rest. It's like,
yeah.
what are you trying to do to me?
Yeah.
So it really is. If you feel exhausted, that next day, really take a rest.
Yeah.
And the reason is your body needs to recover. And two, if you go back out there, you're most likely might have a possibility of injuring yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's when those
Yeah.
overuse injuries happen with your knees or with
Mm-hmm.
your shoulder, the tendonitis people have, And I think next week, Tammy, we'll talk about tennis elbow because people are asking about tennis elbow all the time, and
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like I'm coming. I had a case of it a while ago. It really bothered me. It never stopped me from playing, but it wasn't even from my pickleball paddle. It was more from the dumbbells I was using in my weight room. I changed my
Ah,
dumbbells, and now it's going away. So it's definitely these big Bowflex weights that weren't set. They're heavier on the outside because they're
yes.
adjustable,
Yeah, I have
And I
them.
changed to just and they're
Mhm.
great for like squats, but they're not good for like bicep curls or for shoulders
Mm-mm.
because the way it pulls up, the weight distribution isn't
Yeah,
ideal for like for your tendons of your elbows.
yeah.
So
Well, I'll
I, I
save
think I
a
beat
lot of
that.
my responses to that until we do it next week. But
Yeah.
I had a question for you. I don't know if you saw this because we tend to see some of the same
Uh-huh.
things online. But there was a guy who had a weighted paddle.
Mm,
Yeah, a friend had sent him a weighted paddle,
hmm
and I thought he said it was like maybe it was 13 pounds.
hmm
But anyway, so he's playing with it. He's playing with it and I could tell. I mean, it's really hard
Yeah.
to swing that paddle and I'm thinking, boy, I really hope that he's warmed up before he's doing the
hmm
paddle
hmm
because what that is obviously adding resistance. So then when he went back to his regular paddle, he was like, "Woo, you feel so light." I get that part.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm sold on the weighted
Mm.
paddle
Oh, my
to
brain
warm
just
up
went
and do stuff.
no. Ooh,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why. Um, because the risk versus reward. The first thing I thought of, well, the risk is
Yeah.
greater than the reward. There's better ways to work on your power. Do push-ups. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
do something other than that, especially because the tendonitis part of the elbow,
Yeah.
the shoulder. I always say the shoulder's like wet toilet paper. I feel like shoulders
Mhm.
are wait till we get to the shoulders.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's like when someone, Tammy Lee, says that they ride the bike because it's a good leg workout. I'm like, no, it's not. No, no. It's like you don't get on a hack squat machine and say it's a good cardiovascular. It does elevate your heart rate when you do
Mhm.
weights intensely, but it's not a cardiovascular workout. That's a byproduct of the workout. So when I see someone trying to do something weighted for something that's not weighted, it's like I just think there's the risk versus reward is not there for me. It's not
Yeah.
there for me.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on it, and that's the first time that I had seen it.
We'll see it. I mean, now we'll see some crazy
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. I'm sure we're gonna start seeing a
I
lot
can't
of
wait.
crazy
I'm here
things.
for it. We get all sorts of our opinions and stuff on it. So,
One of the other things that I do with some of my clients in building their cardiovascular is I call it a 3-in-1, 3-to-1
mhm.
ratio. So if they're doing a treadmill or walking or they're on a bike, whatever their choice is, you do 3 minutes of walking fast
Mhm.
or elevated incline with 1 minute recovery.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the hit or the
Yeah.
Tabata where you have it's a time difference, but it builds that up. And then you could also start at a 1-to-1 for
Mhm.
5 minutes, and then you go to a 2-to-1 to a 3-to-1.
Okay.
So
I
you're
love that
you're
stuff.
slowly increasing your distance with your cardio, and it's easier, I think, to build that up than just to
Mhm.
go. They run out there and they're like bent over, asking to tie their shoe like you.
And now we know what time issue. Everyone's like, that's her secret. It's funny because I'm
Yeah.
still, I used to run marathons. I used to be a runner, and I wouldn't call myself a runner anymore, but I have the ability to run. And I do it
Mhm.
about once a week on my treadmill. I'll take a boot camp class. Usually I'll walk the boot camps classes on the tread, but once a week I do run because I think one, I still can. Two, it's good for my joints. It's good for me. And three, it's because
Mhm.
I still want to be a badass and say I can do it. However,
Yeah.
all the studies now show for women my age and older, it's zone two training. Like zone two training where you keep your heart rate a little bit lower and it's more just that steady state is better
Yeah.
for fat loss, better for all the things, doesn't raise your cortisol level. But I do it once a week just because I can. And it's not even that I like it, but when I'm done, I'm like, yeah, I did that. So, but
Okay.
zone two training, it
Yeah.
feels like that's where all the science is right now. Definitely.
Yeah, but remember back early on, because we started off with aerobic dance high
Mm-hmm.
impact,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Boom, 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 as fast as we can. I think we were going 160 beats per minute
Yes,
and
ma'am.
jumping to jumping. And then all of a sudden was low impact. Is it study, consistent,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. And it just seems to change. And
Yep.
my thought on that is that it depends on what you're training for.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're an athlete and you're training for something, excuse me, you're training for something, then you're going to push your body a little bit further. And it's going to be a little bit harder on your body if you're training for something. Excuse
Mm-hmm.
me a minute, my throat is dry. Ooh. Oh, got dry
You're
there for a
good.
minute. So, but as we get older, you have to remember we don't have the synovial fluid that we had when
Mm-hmm.
we were in our 20s. So
Yep.
we don't have that protection around our joints, protecting the bone. And so getting out and pounding at certainly at my age is not going to feel good. And
Right.
I don't want to live on, which I never do, on Tylenol or Advil or any of that stuff because it's
Mm-hmm.
not good for your liver. But so it's finding ways of doing certain things at a more gentle,
Mm-hmm.
um, not not to say you can't still be a badass. I know you're a badass, Barb. So but it's just taking it a little
Yeah.
bit easier. Just like I have some knee issues, I know what I can do and what I can't do. In
Yep.
order to keep me out there, I know that I have to strengthen my muscles. I put my brace on, and I'm not going to probably run after something that I know my chances of getting to is very
So
slim.
smart. Very
Just to
smart.
hurt myself. Yeah.
Right.
But I
It's funny. I
also
was telling
play
someone today
casually.
when I run up to get a ball that no one thinks I can get, and I get it, I'm so proud, but it doesn't much matter because now I am off the court. Like I
Yeah.
run, I get it, I'm off the court, and now my partner has to cover the
Is
whole entire
left.
court, and we
Yes.
never
Yeah.
get the point anyway because
Yeah.
it's like, damn, now that what's the risk versus reward there? My only prayer
Yeah.
is that they won't hit it back and shoot, they
Yeah.
have the whole court.
I, I had
So
that one on Sunday. Just ran, and I'm not quick enough to stop because I know if
yeah,
I do a dead stop, I'm going to jam my
yep,
knee. So
yep.
it's like, okay, it'll be a big loop around, try and run
Yes.
back in and hit it as I'm going.
I
It
just
doesn't
joke. I'm
work.
like, a lot of good that did me. I got it, but then I'm off the court and trying, or I'm in
Yeah.
the kitchen trying to get out of it. Like there's so much that can happen there. So yeah, you have to kind of weigh it out. And I agree. The way I work out now is so different than it was even a year ago.
Yeah.
Even a year ago. I don't. The intensity of my workouts is not as high because I don't need it, and also because my heart rate like my training zone as you get older gets lower. So
Lower.
I don't need to do what I did before. And it
Yeah.
is funny though, like on the tread, I talk about my Peloton stuff all the time because I'm a raving fan, but like on the Peloton tread, it's an ego thing to walk the boot camps, at an incline. But when I do a boot camp class, it's so funny, Tammy, because my heart rate is higher on the weight section than on the cardio section now because I pretty much walk at an incline, but
Yeah.
I mean, I keep it like at 120, 130, but I get to the heavy weights and it's like 140, 150. So it's funny
Yeah.
how it's flipped, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
all
it'll
about that
also
steady state.
depend on whether you're lifting weights over your head, because if you're
Oh yeah.
lifting heavy weights over your head, your heart rate's going to go up.
Oh, anything above the heart. I always say that. Used to call them when I taught classes fat burners. Anytime you put those weights above your chest, like your heart rate's going to go,
Yep.
it'll elevate your heart rate for sure. So good
Yeah.
stuff, Tammy. This is good stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you have
Okay.
your quiz? The
Yes,
pop
I
quiz?
do.
I
And
love it so much.
I saw this and I'm like, there's no way. Okay. Well, so true or false?
Oh gosh.
Because I'm learning so much while we're doing this with
Uh-huh.
pickleball. Because
Yeah.
like we're enthusiasts, but I don't know all the rules, and I think that they keep changing them from time to time. So I always ask. I call her Nikki Serve because she just kills it on her serves every time.
Mhm.
So Nikki Serve usually knows a lot, and so anyway, true or false? If there's a ball, no, let me rephrase it. Can you jump over the net in play and hit a ball as long as you don't step in the kitchen?
On the jump over the net? Well, this is so out of my pay grade, thinking about jumping over a net,
I
not
know.
tripping into the net.
First of all, I don't jump, so
God.
I,
Um,
I'm not even going to
I would
attempt that.
say you, I mean, my gut says it has to be true only because someone probably did it. So I would say true. It's not anything that I'd ever do.
Yeah,
Not because I can't, but because I just don't want to.
right, badass. Um, but it's true. So you can. And
Okay.
I saw a video of the guy doing it, and it was a ball that he just jumped over it, and it dropped in the kitchen, popped
Uh-huh.
back up, and he slammed it as he's jumping over the net, and did not step in the kitchen. So as long as he
Gosh.
didn't step in the kitchen, it was good.
Wow. Wow.
I'm like, whoa,
I know when I watch,
jumping.
and I think I say all the time, but my husband always sends me the videos of the pros, and he's like, "They just play so different than you girls do." I'm like, "Yeah,"
Oh,
and Tiger Woods
smack
plays a
him.
different golf than you do,
Golf game you
buddy.
do. That's a good comeback.
I know
That's
because
a good one.
he watches us play, and he watches the videos on Instagram, so he doesn't have like he only has 2 points of reference, like 3.5 players and
Yeah.
5.5 players.
Yeah.
He's like they play. I'm like, shut. Yes, they do, honey. Yes, they do. They're jumping over the nets, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it's
You know,
phenomenal to see, but
the athleticism is amazing, and I am excited
yeah.
because the tennis players keep coming over. So I think a while ago we watched. Did you watch? Uh, oh gosh, Andre Agassi and
Yes.
oh
His
gosh,
wife,
his what? Steffi Graf. Her outfit was so
Steffi. Oh
cute.
my
Oh,
God.
oh, I was all about the outfit. I was like, she's so cute. And who did he play? John McEnroe, and then John McEnroe played with someone, and I didn't know the other guy, but it was so fun to
Yes.
watch.
Yes.
Because they
Because they're
understand.
such great athletes.
Yeah,
And then to have them switch from tennis to this, it was
yeah.
interesting. John was getting a little frustrated
Uh,
because,
that's his
well,
personality
always,
anyway.
I know. Well, because I don't think, there is a little bit of a difference.
Oh yeah,
And so, yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
it was fun. I'm excited to watch that the pro-am stuff happen. I'm excited to watch the pros also come, like the tennis pros from like our generation, come
Yeah.
in and play. What was the other guy's name? He was so cute. They're all kind of cute though. There was a young tennis player. I can't think of his name right now. Then he was playing pickleball, and I think it was always. I used to go to the U.S. Open with my sister all the time. I went last year too, and saw all these tennis players. And so like the ones from 15 years ago, 10 years ago
Yeah.
are starting to scoot over to pickleball now. So it's going to be
Yeah.
fun watching them.
Yeah.
It was the guy
Yeah.
that dated Mandy Moore. What was his name?
Oh, not Agassi.
Oh, cute kid.
I know,
Oh my
really
gosh.
cute.
Yeah, good looking. Oh, they're all cute to me. They're such
I
good
know.
players. But I'm excited to see him come over because he was such an animated player and such a great. He had that. The players that have the it factor are the ones that are going to be fun to watch playing pickleball.
Yeah.
Agassi, McEnroe, like they have that thing about them that draws you to them.
Yeah.
So it's going to
Yeah,
be fun
I'll
to
be watching.
watch. Yeah, and it's frustrating to me too sometimes when people come home from tennis and they're just so good. Like, I mean, I can play tennis, but not like that. So they have such an advantage, but I do learn a lot
I
from them every
can.
time.
I can
See,
I can play like that in my head.
I, no, but
In
I
my
never played.
head.
Yeah. I'm like a
Only
resort
in my
tennis player.
dreams in my head. Yeah.
I'm like, when you go on vacation, we always play
Yeah.
tennis because it's something to do. We scuba dive and then we play tennis. Like it's a vacation sport for me. So one of my old master trainers from Beachbody, I saw on Instagram, she was a volleyball player in college and she also played tennis and she was killing it. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Well,
Kayla.
okay, let's talk about that for a second. Volleyball players will smash it
Oh,
in
yes.
pickleball
Yes.
because they're used to this. So anytime,
Yes.
do not give them an overhead. It's done.
I never want to get anyone.
Done. No. You
My
don't want to get
my
hit by them. And it's so
no.
fast and strong.
And you know what's funny?
Yeah.
She kept saying I just
Mhm.
couldn't stay out of the kitchen. I'm like, I know your type. Like those little D1 athletes that come over to play and the ball comes at you so fast, then you're like, oh, they were in the kitchen because they don't understand it's
Yeah.
not, but every other part of their game, like their volleys, their serves, their returns are so good because she has the tennis and the volleyball. I'm like, oh, Kayla, you're going to be so good. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to have a great time. Welcome to pickleball. It's going to be great. Well, this is fun, Tammy Lee. Thank you. Hey, share this podcast if you can with your friends. Let everybody know that we're out here just trying to help people. Message us
Message.
on Instagram, one pickleball prehab on Instagram. We can answer any questions you have. Follow us over there. And we'd love to help you out. We'd love to be of service and just keep everybody in the game. That's the goal.
Yeah. Stay healthy and fit by
And
listening
not
to what we
hurt.
no.
Not
No,
hurt.
we're trying to keep you on the courts and
Yes.
feeling like you're strong and you'll enjoy yourself out there as long as your body feels good. Take care of your body and your body will
Yes.
take care of you. Yeah.
Amen. Let's put that on a bumper sticker too. All
Okay.
right, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.